Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to the social media cacophony, Acharya Prashant in Conversation 2022. So, this is going to be interesting. I know I just did cancel culture with him. Hopefully, if nothing happened with that one, and now doing this one. Because I am curious, man, social media is quite something in our lives. It like any other tool, it can be used for good and for bad. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
Does the person you are with encourage you to read? You have to ask, what does he bring for me? Roses or books? If someone has a stake in making you better, that person will push you towards books. Books are what we all need.
In that light, you sometimes see, right, that because there's an such an wide access, easy access to information, um, easily available today online, digitally, where people can become experts very quickly or claim to be experts very quickly on social media. There's also the flip to that is an oversimplification of things that may be um, very childish, as you said. Um, while there's a beauty in being able to simplify, right? In one way of looking at it, where the beauty of many of our rishis and our saints was that they can expound on one single subject as, as in a long exposition, like say our scriptures, like Upanishads and the Gita, and at the same time they can take the biggest subject and dumb it down to a aphorism like a Yoga Sutras, maybe. That while that is true expertise, today's expertise seems to be in a tweet. You can prove that, you can show that I know what I'm talking about, and show the whole world that I'm doing this by just a tweet or a post. In that era, in that such an era, what do you think is the source of that problem? Do you think it's an overthinking of things? Do you think it's an oversimplification of things?
No, it's not oversimplified. There is difference between simplifying and reducing. Being simple is one thing, being reductionist is another thing. Being simple is one thing, and lacking perspective, missing the bigger picture, is just another thing. The room might be very big, but I look at it through a keyhole. And when you look at something through a keyhole, it can very well be condensed in a tweet. 160 characters, 240 characters, because that's a keyhole perspective.
Oh man, could you imagine? I'm sorry to say this, but could you imagine Swami Swami Vivekananda or Swami Ramakrishna? Swami, I don't know if it's Swami. I'm sorry, but anyways, them tweeting. Oh, I saw a tweet from Ramakrishna or Vivekananda. A tweet. Maybe, I don't know, I'm maybe an olden times person, but saying tweet just sounds so ridiculous in my head. Oh, he tweeted that. Oh, God. I don't know, maybe I am old now. He tweeted that. Oh, Vivekananda says he tweeted something. I don't know, man. It's just really weird.
You don't anyway know the bigger picture. You don't anyway know anything that would occupy anything more than 250 characters. It's not that you are being precise. 250 characters is the widest expanse of your knowledge, your perspective, your insight. You do not know anything more than the tweet. But Twitter helps because you could say, I know so much. It's just that I'm presenting the very summary of my wide range of ideas. Most people who tweet anyway do not have any wide range of ideas. Had it been a proper blogging platform, not just micro blogging, it would have become difficult for people, because how would you write a 10,000 word essay on something you really have no idea of?
250 words at a time. 250 characters at a time. Tweet 1 out of 1 billion. I mean, like, obviously you don't look through Twitter for, I don't know, spiritual stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's helpful for just short little bursts of little informations of nuggets. Things that don't require a lot of words to express or to be known. You know, it's great that you can have, you know, Sri Ramakrishna, and it's like, oh look, he says to do, you know, your sutras or whatever it may be. You know, it's a perfect time for that. Or he's going to say, you know, he's going to be at a certain park. You know, that's great, but it's not meant for, like, you know, learning the Upanishads or the dictionary or the encyclopedia or anything like that, or how bears cultivate in the, you know, in whatever place. Yes, people shouldn't be seeking. I mean, people shouldn't be seeking the entire information in terms of Twitter, at least, but some social media sites. Obviously, it's meant to be there for, like, hey, look, something happened, that's cool, now let me go research the information. But people don't do that. People says, oh, that's all the information I need. Someone did something, good enough for me.
So people are not really being cryptic on Twitter. They are being themselves. Little. We are little people, and it's littleness that we display on Twitter in 140 characters. The European Renaissance gave us the idea of freedom, including the freedom of expression, which is a beautiful thing in itself, except that it is not a complete idea. Freedom of expression is always secondary to the freedom of mind. First of all, do you have the freedom of mind to qualify for freedom of expression? Now the mind is rotten. The mind is bigoted. The mind is so narrow, confused, and angry and violent, and cunning to boot. And what it's been given is the freedom of expression. What will you get? And because the mind is cunning, it won't say, I am expressing my ignorance. It will cunningly say, I am expressing my expertise. A doctor is precise, is he not? You look at the prescriptions, laconic. Just because a specialist is precise, that does not mean that everything that is scantily worded denotes expertise. The Brahma Sutras are extremely concise. That does not mean that every idiot who can utter only 2 words becomes a Brahma knower. But that's how the world is operating. Everybody is a wannabe expert. The very respect for depth, forget about wisdom, even deep knowledge, has receded so much.
Oh man.
Today's demigods and celebrities are not people with knowledge. We, in fact, do not even know of subject matter experts. Today's celebrities are loudmouths.
It's pretty true.
Those who bark on everything under the sun or beyond the sun.
I find it interesting. It's really weird. A lot of the issues, I'm assuming he is in India, and it just seems like a lot of the issues in India is happening over here too. I'm wondering what the link is. Like the issues happening in the United States and in England and perhaps the Western world is the link is the Western society, Western culture, you could say, and anything with Western culture you link together. You got Europeans in America, of course, white people descended from Europeans over here. And then people who grew up over here with the culture, and then Britain or France or Germans and whatnot, Western Europeans, they all kind of have the same issue. And I was like, okay, maybe it's the culture, Western culture, because clearly Japan, perhaps from last I understood, Japan and South Korea, I don't think they have that issue. At least maybe they do, but it's not as big as it is in terms of Western European countries. Even though Japan and South Korea are westernized, but they still have a westernized type culture, but still Asian culture. And then I'm looking India. I don't think India's westernized. Perhaps it's creeping in there. I don't know. But yet it has the same issues. India is East, Western culture, Eastern culture. What's the link that's kind of happening? And the only thing I can think of perhaps is when life becomes easy. And I go back to what Sadhguru says about, hungry, one problem, not hungry, 99 problems. So all, I guess you could say in the sense that all our problems are linked to be together, regardless of what culture we come from. When life becomes easy, our problems becomes essentially the same, whether you're in a Western country or an Eastern country or from the North Pole or South Pole. Once you figure out life is easy, all our problems are the same. Food, all our problems the same. If we have a food problem, we're all hungry. When food problems solve, we all have the same 99 problems. It's not the culture, for the most part. Maybe perhaps it has to be the culture though. Because again, South Korea and Japan, again, I haven't looked at them for a long time, but last I searched like 4 years ago, or yeah, almost 4 years ago. I don't think they had that problem, but they have a different kind of issue. So perhaps it's the two things, culture and of course the not hungry problem. I don't know. It's just it's really fascinating for me how America and India, or maybe Western countries and India, as far as I can tell, seem to have very similar problems. Now I don't know if any other Asian countries, because I haven't really looked too much into their culture. I haven't really looked too much into Indian culture. But as far as the questions I'm hearing, especially with Sadhguru going into, I believe, colleges, and then questions from here, it's just like are you talking about America? It's sounding so very similar. Western
You
countries.
bring up any topic and you have an entire community of people across the globe who will immediately present themselves as specialists on that topic. And they have become the thought leaders of this era. They are the ones who are shaping even results of elections.
Mm-hmm.
Governments are rising and falling based on the beck and call of ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
It indeed is a dangerous situation. The explosive emergence of social media, especially over the last 5-6 years,
Mm-hmm.
may have had its immediate and material benefits, but the challenges it has brought in terms of giving a loud and undeserved voice to worthless people is a huge damage we have suffered.
Like I said many times, most things in life you can compare it to a tool. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. Social media, I remember whenever I think Twitter first came out, my gosh, hopefully that doesn't mean I'm old, but there was a person that was lost. They put it on Twitter and they found that person within, I think, 2 hours. They went out wide. I guess they broadcast that on Twitter or something like that. I'm not sure. I just remember being quite proud of technology at the day. It's like, all right, it's used for good. We can do good things with it. And now look what it turned into.
And somehow the nature of life is such that the ones who know very little are the ones most eager to express themselves. Wisdom prefers quietness and silence many a times. Ignorance is so insecure, it wants to shout from the rooftop.
That is kind of funny though. Ignorance. I forgot. There has to be a famous quote where I guess I don't know what the quote is. I think it goes along the lines like those who are ignorant seems to say so thinks they know so much. Something along those lines. Like the ignorant person pretends to know a lot and pretends to be smart and says a whole bunch of words that makes no sense or half truths or no truths or lies, just because they think they know it because they're so ignorant of what they lack of knowledge. But yes, and yeah, social media has its good, it has its bad. It's a great way to communicate. It's a terrible way to get information and communicate too. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can only hope that social media can be used for good. Hey, look, YouTube's great and fantastic. You get to learn a lot about different cultures and whatnot in YouTube and learn about different ways of life. So again, it's not all bad. Although I heard Twitter's a dumpster fire, and I don't know, maybe Elon Musk's gonna make it better. I have no idea. Good luck to Elon on that one. Anyways, that's my reaction to social media cacophony. Good lord. Charlie Prashant. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next vid.